weary travelers, and welcome to the Come and Go Tavern. My name is Sheela Ornthalis, and I'll be your hostess this afternoon. Today's kitchen special is fried ham and macaroni and cheese, and it looks like Emily is currently available for a full-service package, if you know what I mean. But if you see anything or anyone else on the menu that you're interested in, just let me know, and we'll see what we can do. Just to get a bit serious here for a moment, because there's been a lot of news popping up today. Especially, we've already received several judgments from the Supreme Court, and I just wanted to, keeping it in lore, remind you that the Village of Hope, where the Come and Go is located, was created to give its namesake to people who were dispossessed after the destruction of a larger city, a larger state, by a religious movement that cleaved to an old religion that had grown toxic and destructive. Allowing the elite to live in ecstasy while everyone else slowly slid into squalor. We can fight for a better world, and there are already certain elections happening in the United States to hopefully push that forward. The fact that Mamdani won by a landslide, or at least won the primary by a landslide, is a huge thing. We just gotta keep working and keep fighting. And fighting for a better world requires community action. So, like I said, in lore and out of lore, this is what I'm fighting for. We can do better. It just looks bleak right now. Anyway, today will be my 50th Final Fantasy XIV stream. It is absolutely wild that we started so long ago and are only now working through the Post-Endwalker patch quests. The world of Eorzea has come so far from the beginning that it's time for the Scions to at least take a break. So let's see about helping them reach some of their personal goals, eh? As always, I will be available for comments, questions, and concerns about the tavern, as well as regular old conversations, so don't be afraid to fill that chat with discussion, you hear? Alright, speaking of chat, move you over to my second screen, and then let's head on into the game, why don't we? Oh man, I was so glad to see you'd returned unharmed. Right, we finished up a dungeon the last time, that was how we ended. You're finished with the boat then? Yep, for now. Anything the village desperately needs? Well, I suppose Kalzal's loss hit us the hardest. I've been trying to find buyers for my fish, but although I sell a few here and there, it's so much more difficult than it was before. Everyone's still struggling to rebuild their lives. For now, we're just banding together as best we can. Fair enough. Let's see, where should that be? Oh, okay. Still don't have flying in this area yet because I keep forgetting to complete side quests instead of just doing dungeons. Yeah, whoops, that's on me. Greetings and welcome, traveler. If this is your first visit to Thavnair, you must try my special Amr Lassi. Its refreshing zest cannot be beat. What could such a wonder cost, you wonder? Normally, I part with 3 bottles for a generous 19,800 gil. But for you, I'm willing to go as low as 10,000. You'd be practically stealing from me. Still not turning a profit these days? Times are harsh, my friend. The world may no longer be on fire. We are still sifting through the ashes, so to speak. Sisters, spare me. We might as well have that ugly tower back for the scant few travelers we see these days. I myself barely have the coin to buy at local prices. I tell you, if I didn't charge the odd adventurer a small fortune for afternoon tea, I'd be scavenging for scraps in the street. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Hello, Coleman! Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're having a good evening. Thank you very much for the coin toss. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I am still flabbergasted by how good those 30-minute missions AC units look. How fares the port? Well, it's in shambles, isn't it? The trade routes are open once more now that the danger is past. Certainly. Gotta pick one for next time still. Fair enough. But no small amount of merchants have had to sell their ships to make ends meet in the short term. Add to that the sailors we lost in the final days, and it's little wonder the flow of exports is no longer more than a trickle. If Kalzal and his consortium were still with us, I'm sure he'd have found a way to turn our fortunes around. Now that was a man who got things done, God's rest his soul. Spoke with key local figures and gained an understanding of the populace's hardships. Arshan awaits your report at Megalupa. Got Nightfall, Orbital, Milktooth, and Melander now. Ooh. I mean, Orbiter is the one that is kind of the one that you have at the beginning of the game, right? Like, it's a little bit damaged, doesn't have very many upgrades. It's the starter one, yeah. I mean, I'm a fan of that one, honestly. And it has the easiest time customizing with the extra weapons kits, you know? Just because it doesn't have, like the expectation isn't a default of, you know, oh, it has to have its weapons, you know? So, you know, I'm just saying. Oh, boo, 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 boo. Oh, I need to get some dance animations. I really and truly do. There's so much music in this that just makes me want to dance, you know? And like, I can dance in my chair over here, but that doesn't exactly transfer. I keep an eye out on which weapon hits they give the weapon rag part. Rusty has a left shoulder mount, but it's not reversible to the right shoulder. What? Strange. Okay, interesting. Ah, my advisor's returned. I've just made it back myself. How do you retain this vessel now that your true form is known? Could have flown across the island in a fraction of the time. Be that as it may, the sight of a massive creature descending from the sky can be startling, to say the least. And there are few places I can enter comfortably without risk of flattening some cart or stall. I mean, fair enough. As for my inquiries, the people of Palakistan were unanimous in their reply. They are surviving. Resources were stretched to the limit when refugees poured in, but they persevered and with some assistance from Yedlimad. It's very similar to the name of one of the gods in Mania. Oh, thank you for the actual size. What I understand, they've always been an independent community, hunters and foragers and the like, and I was assured that the jungle provides for their needs, for the most part. Yeah. Palakistan has weathered the disaster better than most, it seems. I myself heard good news and bad. Quarrymen were cautiously optimistic, having just sold a full wagon of Giant's Call to a foreign trader. Such visitors are few and far between. Compared to our best years, the weight of stone leaving Thavnir has been light indeed. Our nation is small and isolated, its prosperity dependent on a steady stream of exports. We must identify any obstacles to the flow of trade, and we may begin working to remove them. Tell me, what did you learn in Akyali and Yedlimad? Well, I mean, things aren't exactly good out there. You see, without a dedicated buyer, the average fisherman must struggle to offload his daily catch. Which is why I believe we should first address the lack of ships and shortage of able-bodied sailors in Yedlimad. I'm reminded of a child I spied as I made my way back to his palace. His father lost at sea when the beasts sunk their vessel. So many variations of the same tragic tale, repeated over and over. So many lives lost. Mm. Enough grief to drown in if we let ourselves be overcome. But we will not. Then, Estinian, I will consider the perspectives you've brought me, and devise a plan to help my people confront this adversary. And adversity, even. Come, I'd like you to be in attendance when I announce the proposal to my assembled functionaries.
I thank you for your
Ooh, he's voiced one.
attendance.
Honestly, it's kind of wild that his vessel continues standing and blinking and things. And he's not, like, in there.
Were hoarded in Al-Zadal's name. A fortune I set aside for a future day of need. And lo, that day hath come. May it aid our wounded city in reclaiming its vibrancy and vigor. In better times, I would leave such a task to our capable Ahawan. God's rest his soul. Finding myself bereft of his counsel in the here and now, I will assume the responsibilities of mine office directly. Firstly, the treasure shall be sold for more convenient currency. Thence, invested into the trading port of Yedlamad. Our merchants must have their operations restored, their ships rebuilt. Commerce must flow once more. None were spared the tragedy of the final days. Of this, I am well aware. But an absence was created by the loss of Kalzal's consortium. And by filling it, we provide new means for our fishermen, our artisans, and others to bring their wares to distant markets.
Well said, well said.
And what of the children who were left without family to care for them?
After her choice.
That is a concern which weigheth heavily upon my mind. The simple gift of coin will soon be exhausted, leaving these young souls adrift on the fringes of our society. Nay, a proper solution is needed, one which doth guarantee their welfare for years to come. Thou hast surely seen how other nations rise to meet this challenge, adventurer. What dost thou deem the wisest course?
Takes a village to raise a child.
Of course, we must all look out for one another. Let us put this idea into practice. A contract shall be written, requiring all who receive of Al-Zadal's treasure to commit a portion of their future earnings towards the running of an orphanage.
Now that is how you're supposed to spend state funds.
Now, such an influential policy is deserving of a worthy name.
Something with Kalzal seems appropriate.
A fitting candidate. Kalzal should be remembered, not as the blasphemy which terrorized Thavne, but as a hard-working and generous man who brought much wealth to our shores. Do any among you object to this proposition? Many here lost loved ones to the beasts.
In that time of strife, any one of us could have broken. Any one of us may have been taken by despair. When I think of Kalzal, I feel no hatred. Only a stinging regret that we could not save him as well. Isn't that right, men?
This bodes well for that boy. Irad, was it? Perhaps he can cut ties with that shady peddler.
Then let it be done. Henceforth, this initiative shall be known as the Kalzal Foundation.
Right.
Nabdeen, thou art to assemble a patrol and ensure that no child in this city liveth in slaughter.
Cough. Eh. Ooh, sorry about that. I tilted my head the wrong way and just
See to the
getting some weird
management
pressure in my
of
throat.
funds and make haste. Our citizens must not suffer a day more than is necessary.
Water.
Dragon and man, side by side in pursuit of a brighter morrow. Reminded of Ishgard.
Yeah. World can be a better place. You have to make it so. I'll just take the money. I can make my own food. In game, anyway. Oh, excuse me. Thank you for putting forth Kalzal's name. Those whose lives he enriched will take comfort in seeing his legacy honored. You will forgive me for not speaking sooner, but I bear a message from Archon Y'shtola. She asks that you meet her at the High Crucible at your earliest convenience. Understood, thank you. Y'shtola must have finished her study at the Void Gate. Shall we hear what she has to say then? I'll go with you. Hola! I thought the satrap would be too busy setting up the foundation. My clerks have been the well-oiled cogs of this administration since before Ahwan assumed the office. They understand what needs to be done. And I am curious to learn what conclusions your Archon has reached concerning the gate's unique construction. As you wish, allow me to lead the way, Your Excellency. Interesting that this man is clearly a dancer because of his weapon, but wears a much heavier armor than expected. And I'm going through the front door, I suppose. gonna... Oh, do I need to hit caffeine already? Maybe a little. Maybe on my first break I'll get some of
Right,
that.
here we all are.
Just take a sip or two.
You discovered something new.
I took a closer look at that device. I was able to determine how it keeps the void gate sealed, but not how it might instead be employed to expand the opening. For that, I would need to reference the technique developed by Vritra's alchemists, no records of which appear to have survived the intervening years.
We know this, so why have you sent for us? Have you learned aught of value or not?
Patience, good sir. One must introduce the subject before launching into specifics.
Okay.
From what we understand, travel between worlds is accomplished by passing through the nebulous rift which exists between them. Picture, if you will, the moment you were called to the first. You touch the focus of some kind to help the Exarch pinpoint your location. His summoning spell then channeled the energies of the Crystal Tower to begin your journey to his world.
True.
The magics tore a hole in the wall separating source and shard, and cast you into the intervening nothingness. In that place, the laws of nature hold no sway.
Okay. But what laws are we working with then?
Yet even through this realm of temporal and spatial instability, you were borne safely to your destination in the first. The feat that guided you across such an unimaginable distance, both physical and metaphorical, was nothing short of a miracle.
I will tell Brahatia that you said that.
Then what of the many voidsent found in the source? Who guides them here, and how?
An excellent question. Though there are several methods by which the Void's denizens might intrude upon our world, the rituals of summoning are the most typical. For example, let us consider the Gargoyle, a creature of middling power.
Fair enough. I am considering it. I do not like it.
To call upon such an entity, the prospective summoner must force open a void gate.
Okay.
The portal lasts but a moment and is relatively small, allowing only an imp or other lesser being to squeeze through with their physical body intact. Our more powerful gargoyle, however, is too large for that. Creating a gate big enough for him would require vast amounts of energy, far beyond the reserves of any one mortal practitioner.
Sure.
Instead, 'tis far more common to bring over only the entity's soul. We
That
had a
makes
taste of
sense.
that ourselves when a certain exarch dragged us to the first. And just as our bodies remained in our world, the Void Sense physical form is left behind in the 13th.
Okay, fair. Yep, that makes sense.
Once at its destination, the summoned soul is granted a temporary shell to inhabit. In the gargoyle's case, a stone effigy has proven a suitable vessel.
That's a cute explanation for why gargoyles are made out of stone in this world.
Wait. You said that Voidsent must be called here deliberately by someone in the source, reeled in like a fisherman with his catch.
Well, she didn't say that last part, but yes.
Exactly. For a being to navigate the chaos of the rift, with or without form, there must needs be a guiding agent on the other side.
When the hordes poured forth from Alag's Great Gate, it was the technologists who drew them through. Though to my knowledge, planar fissures are in essence natural passages between our world and the void, which require no such guidance to traverse.
Interesting.
Why is only the boundary between the source and the 13th so fragile? So much so that it often tears open of its own
That's
accord.
a great question, because that's the only place commonly referred to
I believe solving that
as being able
mystery
to travel
is
between
key
worlds.
to understanding travel between the source and its reflections.
And how do you intend to get your answers?
No, the danger is too great.
Perhaps. But what some call danger, others think of as adventure.
Hey, what counts as hurt enough to go see Aunt Elena?
Oh, baby, what happened?
Well, LaFerlin and I were playing in the forest, and I sort of rolled down a hill wrong.
Oh, Fitoro. No, we can take care of this. Give me just a second. I'll finish up this cutscene and I'll be right with you. In the meantime, put a cold compress on it. I'll be right there, okay? Kids.
Were you not listening to my tale? Never mind that the means to expand the gate has been lost to the ages. Even could you force the portal wide enough, you would be greeted by an army of murderous horrors the very instant you step through.
I mean, we face murderous horrors every day. It's basically
I
our job
assure
description.
you I was most attentive. And I agree that to go alone would be certain death.
Ooh, is this gonna be another dungeon?
But if I were to bring along one who has already braved the 13th and humbled the cloud of darkness, well, I imagine my chances would be much improved.
Yee. Oh, it's so weird seeing the different earring on me. Count me in.
I had a feeling you might say that. Once again, I put my life in your ever-reliable hands. That said, as much as I would like to march straight back to the Void Gate, there is the small matter of being unable to open it without the Satrap's personal authority.
Oh, whatever shall we do?
As I've said before, I will grant you and yours any boon you choose to name, provided it does not endanger my people.
That's a good point. This is even
You
so
have
asking
my
a lot.
word that we will take every precaution. Not a single void scent will be allowed to threaten Radzatan, assuming we manage to expand the portal in the first place.
You have a plan.
Actually, I had hoped you might help us with that. I presume the alchemists you retained supplied you with some explanation of their methodology.
That they did. House Daymir was overseeing the project.
Okie dokie. Well, let's ask them.
Daymir. Ah, yes. The family associated with the great work.
I
This
did
lighting
not
is
fully
not doing
comprehend the theory,
standing any good.
but their research began with a void scent which had slipped through the fissure.
Hmm.
After a thorough examination, they created an arcane simulacrum possessed of similar qualities. A man-made void scent, if you will. It was apparently indispensable in their efforts to enlarge the gate.
A man-made voice.
They're like our Porksies.
Yes. Being great admirers of the Archons, House Daymir submitted detailed notes to Charlene's official committee. They expected praise and accolades for their simulacrum, and were thus devastated to be informed that their work had been classified as prohibited material.
Rude. I mean, I kind of get why, but still.
If that's true, then those notes might still be stored in a forbidden archive somewhere. Not Google, of course, since that library had yet to be built. Which leaves us with...
With Graha's favorite place to sneak around.
Indeed. Numenon's restricted stacks may very well hold a copy. In which case, I say we head directly to Charlene.
Sounds good.
Unless you anticipate needing help to reach the high shelves.
Hey.
Myself being of little use. Go on ahead. I still need to find Mirad and tell him about the Kalzal Foundation.
Fair enough. We'll let your adoptee know.
Let us be on our way as well.
They are resolved to venture into the void. Do I sit idly by?
Sit safely by. When we think we can help you, we will let you know. Alright, so we'll be back in about 5 minutes. I'm gonna run an ad while I'm away, take care of Twirl's injury. We'll be right back, okay? Alright, so shoot that cold compress. Good. What's next? off to Old Charlan. To enter Numenon's restricted archives with a minimum of fuss, we must secure permission of the Forum. First, however, we shall need to enlist the cooperation of a member to broach the matter on our behalf. Who do you think might be inclined to assist us? No one springs to mind? What of Scholar Monteshane? He did come to Graha's defense during the inquiry, after all. It is settled. Let us head to Phenomenon and see if he's willing to help us once more. Phenomenon, do 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 do. Phenomenon, do 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 do. Phenomenon, do 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 do. Phenomenon, I don't know, I'm just feeling silly at this point. There is so much happening in the world that I have no control over. But I gotta be at least a little silly, you know? Otherwise, I'm just gonna be sad. I have fruit snacks. Hoping Rouge will help wake me up a little bit more. If I can avoid having caffeine before like 2 o'clock, great. Apprenticed to Master Matoya at the age of 7 and labored under her tutelage for a full decade. Never had the chance to attend the studio. Neither did Thrankrid, as I recall. Soon after Master Louis Swat took him in off the streets, he was put in the care of another Archon. He was a rigorous and practical education in the arts of espionage and survival. Sometimes wonder what my life might have been like had I pursued studies here instead. Blessed. Stand after a day of lectures. That does sound lovely. Afternoons with friends spent sipping tea and debating theories. Still, I wouldn't give up on my time with Master Matoya of the world. The dank cave I studied in was about as far from the bright, airy halls of academia as one could get. It was a wondrous, magical childhood nonetheless. Honestly, that does sound nice. Hello, Monteshane. Ah, visitors. And quite esteemed ones at that. What may I do for you? Pray forgive the intrusion, Skylark. But we were hoping you might help us secure permission to use Numenon's restricted archives. Oh, no furtive forays into the stack this time, eh? I applaud this newfound sense of propriety. Yet, in all this world of comparative serenity, what so compels you to disturb the vault of forbidden wisdom? Well, we have some wisdom that we need. Such other things. Fascinating. I had no such idea such a technique existed. I would have been surprised if you had. My assumption is correct. The research left behind by House Demir has lain dormant in Charlene's archives for many centuries. And if you unearth this research, what then? Surely you don't intend to cross over into the void. But that is, in fact, precisely what we intend. To what end, pray tell? To develop a method for traversing the rift, for one, that I may keep my word to a distant friend. Friend. Uh-huh. Friend. Sentiment aside, I have journeyed to the end of existence. I have heard, felt, and thought endlessly about the truth of our world and the echo of its future. And I want to understand everything, to unravel it all down to its very last secret. What scholar worthy of the name wouldn't force open a void gate or two if a grand revelation is the promised reward? Marvelous! An audacious proposal worthy of Master Matoya herself. After hearing the whys and the wherefores, I, for one, do not believe you would use the knowledge of her ill. I see no reason not to present your request to the forum's consideration. Although, your petition would be better received if you also had the support of another well-placed acquaintance. I mean, the twins' father? Oh, yeah, Master Fortuno, of course. He can hardly ignore the earnest request from his dear children's most treasured comrades. I was hesitant to approach him directly. There is no denying that having Master Fortuno on our side tipped the balance in our favor. Very well. We will pay a visit to the Lavalier estate and plead our case. Oh, one last thing before you go. I would consider it a personal favor if you might share with me the discoveries you make in the void. Yeah, fair. My appetite for knowledge is every bit as insatiable as yours. I'd wager. So, if you could see your way to indulging an old man's curiosity? Of course, Skalak. I will be sure to pass on any revelations. Neat. Blah. Tranquility is the right word for it. The music here is always so relaxing. Also, that man's name is Gorgio. Gorgeous. Well, it's probably Giorgio, but I'm gonna read it as gorgeous. I like that. That's funny to me. Wow. Now, here's a question for you. If they add housing within this expansion's areas, would it be here in Charlayan, or do you think it would be at Rod's at Han? I wish it could be at Rods and Han, because that would be an amazing usage of just some very, very culturally interesting assets and things like that. But Charlene is more technically the like hub area for this expansion. I feel like it's more likely that they do it as Charlene. Ah, Mistress Lynn, Mistress Ishtola. How may I be of service? We've come to speak with Master Fortuno. Is he home by any chance? Oh yes, the Master is in residence. I shall inform him that he has guests. Oh my goodness. Well, well. Ameliance would invite you inside for tea, but I assure you I assume this is not a social visit. Have some matter of import to discuss? Then pray proceed. You have my full attention. Well, here's the thing. And the other thing. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Well, I suppose I should praise you for following the proper protocols this time around. Scholar Monteshine expressed much the same sentiment. I assure you we will not attempt to circumvent the Forum's authority again. Unless it is absolutely necessary, of course. Of course. You do understand that the restricted archives are restricted for good reason, yes? If no pressing need exists, then why risk the consequences of employing this forbidden knowledge? I mean, a pressing need does exist. But for a brother who misses his sister, she was his guardian and his friend. A selfless hero who crossed the rift between worlds to save her homeland from horror and suffering. When the brother was given up on thoughts of reunion, he spends his efforts elsewhere, watching over people yet healing from the flames of the final days, loyal to his duty, betraying the longing of his heart. I don't think you meant brother and sister there, girl. There's no vital mission, perhaps, uniting these siblings, but it feels like a worthy cause to pursue, all the same. As one who feared losing his own loved ones, and spent years in research to prevent it, surely you appreciate how painful such a separation must be. Although I suppose the framing of brother and sister is perhaps a little more palatable. Reflections are still very much a mystery to us. Offering to share your experiences in the first would constitute a fair exchange for our cooperation. Thank you. Do not celebrate just yet, or I must be convinced. I'll add your request to the list of today's deliberations and deliver the decision to you at the Baldessian Annex. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna step away from the screen for just a couple of minutes. I will be back. I'm not even gonna send this away to a full a break. I'm just gonna step away and have a short conversation real quick, okay? And we're back. You know, I wonder if there's a way to set up, like, oh, I should set it as, like, an animation button. Maybe just like a zip, send me off screen or something like that. I'll figure that out later. Actually, no, hang on. Say I'm gonna figure it out later, and then I never do it because if I don't write things down, so. AFK. There we go. Alright, there we are. Let's get to it. Do I have right now? Not enough for what I need. I realized the other day that I have in fact hit the point where I need to start collecting tombstones again because I am starting to get stuff up to level 90 and whoops. So, what did the forum decide? To put it bluntly, Master Matoya has burned some bridges here in Charlene, and salted the earth for good measure. It became clear that her student was the petitioner in question. Well, no few members voiced their discontent. Then the chamber was reminded, in no uncertain terms I might add, of the incredible debt we owe to you and your companions. That served to silence the grumbles. Whoa. Hello, Caradon Heart. That served to silence the grumbles and stiffen a few spines. It was agreed that allowing you entry into the archives was the least we could do in return. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you enjoy your time here at the Come and Go. This is wonderful news. Thank you both for speaking on our behalf. Yes, well, as I'm sure you are aware, this permission was not extended lightly. The knowledge is not to be treated, or is to be treated with the utmost caution. There will be repercussions if it is not. I wish you well in this endeavor. Thank you. Good day. Oh, we see where the twins get some of their manners. They're the same, that one. Uncompromising? Right. But that very stoicism is exactly why Charlene needed to guide it through not one, two exoduses. Yeah, in case you missed the sort of intro to the stream, my name is Sheela Orthalis. I'm the mistress here at the Come and Go Tavern. Let's see, what are today's specials? Today's specials were ham with macaroni and cheese, and I believe Emily is still available for a full service package, if you know what I mean. But in any case, welcome, welcome, welcome. I guess technically at this point I am a bit of a variety streamer. I do Final Fantasy XIV on Fridays, and then a tactics game every Saturday. So tomorrow we'll be doing Wandering Sword, which is a truly excellent wuxia game that actually just got a new DLC. So yeah, it's so much fun. That went rather well, I think. As a child, I dreamed up any number of schemes for getting my hands on those forbidden tomes, and now I can simply walk in through the door. Oh, our focus will be on finding House Dainier's research notes, of course, but the thought of so much knowledge at my disposal has me feeling a little giddy. I mean, fair enough. You'll be heading directly to the archives from here, I presume. You presume correctly. And then you'll want to speak with the index page when you arrive. It's been instructed to grant you access to the restricted section. Excellent. Once again, we thank you for all your help. Oh, it was my pleasure, believe me. May you find the knowledge you seek. Thank you very much. Shall we? Yep, okay, Ishtola is accompanying us again. Yep. Let's head up to the archive. Hello, gorgeous George. Think we can go this way though? Yeah, we can. It's no faster. Okay. Duly noted. Yeah, I know his name is Bevis, but it makes me wonder where Butthead is. You know? It's not fair. I don't want to have caffeine yet. But I have to. To think the set of instructions I laughingly imagined may actually exist, but yawns away from where you found me napping. If I had known that of Alzadal Nerd's exploits sooner, I could well have saved myself days of research. Even a children's book might have pointed me in the right direction. To achieve the impossible, one must needs be flexible of mind and look beyond conventional wisdom. A lesson I had already learned, but really not taken to heart. Okay. Sometimes we just need to be reminded. That's all. Archon, Ishtola, and guest identified. Do you wish to proceed into the restricted archives? Yes, that's why we're here. Follow me, if you would. Watch your step, and please note that the use of naked flames is discouraged. Heard of Wandering Sword was planning to play it. Big fan of those types of Chinese wuxia and xianxiao games. Yes, please do. Please try it out. Okay, so the first two DLCs for it were completely free, and the newest one is only like $6. It's probably on sale right now. It has an absolutely gorgeous soundtrack. I have put about, I want to say, 100 hours into the game so far, and I think I'm in the end game of the main story, but I can't guarantee that, quite frankly.
To be found anywhere, it will be here. Let us begin.
But of course, if you want to check it out first, we'll be playing it tomorrow. Recently, oh yeah, the Amazing Cultivation Simulator. I have not gotten to pick it up. It is sitting in my library. I just have not had the time. But it looks absolutely amazing. This is a much livelier sort of piano thing than what's going on outside. Today, in a world not my own, I met the most beautiful boy-born creature. She was so unlike her ravenous brethren. Eyes blazing not with hunger, but trembling, like a candle's flame, threatening to flicker out at any moment. I wonder if she is even the proper word. Distinctions seem inconsequential, insignificant even. All that matters is the love I feel for this exquisite, transcendent being. Oh, though you're tempted to read more, this does not seem to be the volume you're seeking. Spicy. In the year 1564, the 6th Astral Era, the Amal Shah summoned Ifrit, their patron god. The accounts describe the being as a gigantic lizard-like being, with a potent command of fire aspect and magics. We consider that primal summoning is an act fueled by faith and prayer. It is unsurprising, if not unexpected, that the resulting deiform entity should manifest the appearance and powers with which it is attributed by its worshippers. What then might emerge from the ether should one who believes in an almighty omniscience attempt to accept the same ritual? Would the scholar himself grace us with his presence? Some other embodiment of divine sagacity? Could this man-made god truly be all-knowing? If it were, whence would such knowledge arise? I myself have many questions concerning the nature of the ancient world, with no spell to transport me back to the ancient days of old. Could I instead summon a being possessed of encyclopedic knowledge of every age? Yet with no means to verify its pronouncements, would one be certain they were true? Although your mind spins with the possibilities discussed therein, this does not seem to be the volume you are seeking. Yeah, that sounds about right. Leather-bound log? Why would you put a brick of wood inside of a library? I know what a log is. It's fine. I was trying to make a joke and it didn't work, and here we are. The following pages detail an advanced method for manipulating rift-spanning apertures. It's devised by Nuhashan, the ninth patriarch of House Daimir. Oh, I found it! We present these notes at the facility of Charlane's studium as both a token of our friendship and an expression of our boundless admiration. You appear to have located the forbidden volume you seek, which Toma will need to make the final confirmation. Have something you'd like to show me, do you? My apologies. I flipped open but a single book and was completely absorbed by its contents. All good. I fully understand that. Well done, Lynn. I think you may have found our prize.
Yes, the ether signature is unmistakable. I've felt the traces of House Daimir's resonance many times at the Great Work. Time to see what all the fuss was about.
I swear, the solution is basically just, get wedged in there and, push on one side with the hand and push on the other side with the foot. But at the same time, that would be pretty funny, right?
Among the ranks of the Voidsent, there exist entities with the power to call forth their brethren from beyond. The species known as Atomos, however, is uniquely prodigious in this regard. From its distended maw, it can expel an endless procession of void-born creatures.
Yep, run into
A
Apple
talent which sorely tested the Radiant Host in its battles against these abominations. Surmising that the entity itself was acting as a void gate, we endeavored to capture a small specimen and subsequently examine its physiological structure.
Makes sense. Good
Our
place to
findings
start.
reveal that the Atomos had absorbed a planar fissure into its own flesh, which
Oh.
it could expand at will into a functioning gate.
Ooh. Now, had it absorbed it, or was it born with it?
Upon further analysis, we identified an ethereal wave pattern emitted during this process. A pattern we were able to emulate by passing crystal-stored ether through a specially designed prism.
Interesting.
We proceeded to embed said prism into an arcane simulacrum, thus completing what we have dubbed our artificial Atomos.
Okay. Well, that also explains why this was considered forbidden knowledge, because y'all weren't just figuring out simulacrum, but an artificial void gate.
How could I have been so blind to the possibilities? This species, not to mention its ability to summon Voidsent, has been discussed among academics for years now.
That's fair.
Just before the advent of the 7th Umbral Calamity, we received reports of Atomos sightings from every corner of Eorzea.
So I
Surely
wonder if
you
they
at least
start
have
off a
the
lot
tales.
smaller. that would make the most sense,
And
right?
still, House Daemir went and built a mock Atomus of their very own. I'm not surprised the Archons consigned their work to a restricted archive.
Fair.
It was no easy task, but at last we've unearthed the volume we've been searching for.
Glad to hear it.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to stay longer. See what other forbidden titles might be lurking on these shelves. Ah, but that would be abusing the very special privilege we've been granted now, wouldn't it? Better
It
not.
would. Unfortunately. Ah. Music was getting a little spooky there at the end. Well, fortunately we know a Hannish alchemist who would be delighted to involve herself in our Daemir project. Our business here is concluded for the moment. Please pass on our regards to the forum. Your message will be conveyed. Should you wish to indulge in more forbidden literature, I will be here. Patron mode disabled. Security mode enabled. Engaged. If anyone can help us, Vidhana can. I say we return to Thagnir. Look for her the great work. Alright. Back and forth. Back and forth. That's just how these things go, though. Sometimes the information you need is close at hand. Other times the information you need is half a world away. Who knows, you know? Ishtola tells me you're pursuing a most fascinating study, and that you want me to be a part of it. That would be correct. I have no doubt you'll be interested. This research log should speak for itself. Will it now? By the sisters! This is the mark of House Daemir. I never even knew such a work existed. You should. Sequestered in Numenon's restricted archives, after all. What? But that means every word within is forbidden knowledge. Oh, hello?
Hey, Mom, look at this cool animal I found.
That's an adorable little, what is it?
Can I keep it?
No, we have to take that back outside. You can tell me all about it on our way, okay? Okay, well, we've still got a few minutes until the forced ad break, but I'm going to go ahead and take a break here and run an ad while we're at it. And that will kind of delay it for us for another, like, 45 or so minutes. How about that? Okay, so I'll be back in 5 after I make sure that LaFarlin actually takes whatever fuzzy little critter that is outside instead of adding it to the menagerie. Okay? So, yeah, baby. Alright, no, we can't take it out to the garden. We've got to go put it back out where you found it. We did find it in the garden. returned a little critter out to the world. Apparently it's kind of like a sort of mouse, but not like the kind of mice that I'm used to seeing. I don't know. Well, the Farland call it a dormouse, but I don't know. Doesn't look like it being doors I know. But anyway, a forbidden tome filled with forbidden research. I put it right into my unsuspecting hand. I can hardly wait to read it. I think the Daemir were developing such marvelous techniques so long ago. How many innovations have been lost over the centuries, I wondered. Now that you've glanced over the notes, what say you to helping us build a new Makatomos? I say yes, 1,000 times yes. Work on a Daemir project has ever been the redoubtable scholars of Charlene, or has even the redoubtable scholars of Charlene trembling in their sandals? No alchemist of the great work could resist. You are a woman after my own heart. Oh, I suppose I should ask, what do you mean to do with this big-mouthed simulacrum once we've built it? Well, we're experimenting to figure out a way to, oh, so there's a secret void gate. It's sealed in the ruins at the bottom of the bounty. Today is a day for revelations indeed. If the purpose of our man-made Atomos is to expand this hidden portal, then I will need to see it for myself, I think. Manipulating rift-spanning apertures is not the sort of thing you want to attempt without first taking into account every single factor. And by all means, accompany us to the vault. I plan to lead us back there shortly, once you've finished gathering the components I require. Charlene markets provide the raw materials in pure water crystals. But I might need help obtaining a small quantity of astrally infused water. For such a liquid, you'll need to go further than the font of Maya. The ascetics of old once favored the place, their meditations, and the water which pools there now is known to enliven the flow of ether. That sounds perfect. If you'd be so kind as to fill a flask at the pool, I'll petition Virtuer to join us. The idea I have in mind won't amount to much without his authority to command the Void Gate. Shall we be about it then? We meet back here anon. We shall meet back here anon. Tomorrow? I can never remember the exact definition of anon. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and let's just teleport to Palaka Stand, because yeah, that's pretty far away otherwise. And while we're here, we will finish up one quest and pick up another one. Oh, okay, so this isn't the final part of the quest. Thought I heard dog barking. Oh, okay, that was the end of the quest. Have access to the Burning Field expansion of Stone Seeds. Ah, okay, that makes sense. Finish that one up and pick up this one. Oh my goodness. More people here. I realize the plague being more dire than I imagined. Recent crisis caused supplies for no home. Okay, well, I will deal with that in my off time. Oh, I wish I could fly here. That would make my life so much easier. That's on me for not keeping up with the side quests, though. Ah. Oh, boo. Okay. Nice. No. Whoop. And we go back over to the Great Work. Yeah, once I have some more time on my hands, it's probably when I'll be able to pick up Amazing Cultivation Simulator properly. Also got Dwarf Fortress, which is a very, very similar vibe. And I always enjoyed Dwarf Fortress, although I fell out of pace with that as well. Should pick that up as well, too. Huh? Wow. Do you have that flask for me? Yes, indeed. There you go. Ah, I guess I do need caffeine. Yes, this should suffice. Thank you, then. I'll go with spell speed. How about this? Look who I came across. Estinian seemed in need of diversion, and we, in turn, may have need of his lance. Right then. Now that our little party is assembled, let's make our way to the ruins. Will we have need of Matsia's boat again? But not this time. Once Ishtola informed me of our destination, I arranged for a vessel to be made ready at Akeli. Your Excellency is ever the gracious host. Shall we? Okay, we may as well just walk there then. Halfway between here and there, anyway. Yeah, it's been a couple weeks since I got to run the tactics game on stream because I took last week off for my birthday, and I am very much looking forward to getting back to Wandering Sword. I'm in a weird situation right now where I've meant to work on some side content, particularly with like crafting and foraging and cooking and all that sort of stuff. But I have not been able to because I keep finishing my streams with it in the middle of a place where I can't just leave that location, like I'm in the middle of a story thing. I don't know. I hope I get to do it before the game comes to an end. Like I said, I don't think we're actually at the end yet. But it's certainly, like, you know how wuxia stuff is. It always feels like there's big, important things going on. Never any time to rest, you know? The ship is yours to command. Oh, thanks. We set sail at once. Oh, this is so exciting. Elzadal's legacy. See the truth of a legend with my own eyes. All aboard for the treasure vault. Real glad we didn't have to fight all that again.
The ruins alone were impressive enough, but I never dreamed such a treasure lay hidden in the depths of the bounty. It may have been helpful to know this device existed, Your Excellency.
The sass from one of the world's top scientists.
My apologies. The gate was a secret I shared with none but my closest advisors. I feared for what might happen should those with ill intentions learn of its existence.
That is a valid point. We appreciate valid points. However,
What is it you're doing now?
What else?
There's something I wish to verify. The NOAA reports claim that a short stint into the void carries little risk of etheric imbalance. Should one suffer an injury, however, or if one's expedition drags on longer than intended, that risk becomes significantly greater. Graha theorized that a warding scale would confer protection from the void's corrupting influence. But I would prefer to test that hypothesis before we set foot in the 13th ourselves.
100% fair.
So, this is an experiment of sorts.
Yes, an experiment. Tell me, how would you go about testing the efficacy of the warding scale?
I suppose create a simulacrum of some sort? I mean, I'd probably just go myself, but I'm also built different, so, you know.
Very good. I see you've been paying attention. As Vritra sent his simulacrum, so too shall we rely on a familiar to bear the brunt of any unpleasant consequences.
There.
Now, a lowly imp can navigate a fissure, no matter how narrow. Which means an arcane entity of similar stature should be able to manage the same.
Alright, what adorable thing are you about to bring forth?
I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no other familiars will do, I'm afraid.
Okay, what familiar are you gonna send?
I mislike the sound of that. What manner of fiend does she mean to summon?
Watch it be a cat or something similar like that, you know?
From ocean rise and cloudbank form, from mountain spring and rainfall storm, from river flow and life be born.
Or a tiny version of her. We're doing a full magical girl transformation.
Water, water, froth and foam!
What was that?
Ready your arms. I fear she's been possessed.
Oh, come now. That was adorable.
Indeed it was. Oh, look at them! She's so happy. Nope, nope, not allowed to play.
Though not my first choice. These familiars I conceived of as a child have the best chance of fitting through the gate. I
Oh,
only wish my younger self had considered a more dignified ending to the creation ritual.
goth cat lady. We all love the cute
In
stuff.
any
Don't
case,
worry about
these
it.
two should serve us well. This one will bear a warding scale. And when they return from the 13th, we can observe how the talisman, or absence thereof, has affected the progress of the Void's corruption. If I could impose upon you to open the gate, Your Excellency?
Ah, yes, of course.
That is a dragon who's having second thoughts about certain people.
We should also be wary of void scent slipping through while we conduct our experiment. Estinian, you are to keep Nadana safe from harm.
Yep, sounds about right.
As you say.
You had best be on your guard as well.
Oh, and I'm not gonna let her live that down. Froth and foam.
Oh, are you volunteering to join the Nixies? I could shrink you down, you know.
I'm already real tiny.
Let us begin, shall we?
Love the very whimsical march we've got in the background music here.
Nixies, into the void.
Ba-ba-bum. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Like a very cartoon Halloween theme, you know? So, how long do we wait? We have time to get out a deck of cards, or like what?
I think we've waited long enough.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Nixies, return to my side.
Oh. Oh, buddy. Oh, baby.
Thank you, little one. You did well.
Poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
Oh.
We're out of time. I must reseal the void gate.
Go for it, bud. Bleh.
Coming through!
They have to be so wiggly.
In the name of Alzadal III, I bar this door unto the void.
Good timing, good timing. Here we go. All safe, all fine.
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of void gates.
Uh-huh.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
Yeah, weirdly the one on the ground is the one that had the scale. No, it's probably the one that's floating in his health.
The unprotected Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent. The one merged with the talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium.
Neat.
Rest now, little ones.
Oh, Pinky.
Graha's theory was correct then.
So it would seem. But while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the talisman itself shows signs of degradation.
Interesting.
It was, of course, originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently. We may need to modify the warding scale's design to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
You've said much of the Void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place is this broken world?
Ah, my apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days sequestered in dusty archives.
Fair.
The 13th is a reflection of the source that was drowned in a flood of darkness.
Opposite of the
In
first,
Emmett Selk's
basically.
own words, this tragedy was a result of the Ascians' attempts to force a rejoining. They erred in their haste, and made of that world a useless void.
Woof.
You remember Una Kalhai, the unusual child we met during our troubles with the Warring Triad. He explained the fate of the 13th thus. The champions of that ill-fated world used the stone known as Auracite to contain the power of primals. But those self-same heroes were gradually corrupted by the Auracite's bleeding energies, transforming into fiends with an endless hunger for ether.
Fair enough.
By the time anyone thought to oppose them, Light's strength had grown too feeble, and the balance of the 13th tipped into eternal darkness.
Unfortunate.
And what of your own experience? Will you tell us of what you observed during Noah's expedition?
A lot of dark. Yeah, no, that tracks with everything that I saw, honestly. You do also see a lot of people, though. Well, fiends,
I
but...
can picture it now.
Yeah.
The sunless, Stygian expanse, infested with legions of ether-starved monstrosities. A void in every sense of the word.
What you have described in such lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
Fair.
Worry not, great Vritra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage. A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections, to new discoveries. And I mean to be there every step of the way.
Fair enough.
But first I must focus on refining the warding talisman.
Then I can begin work on constructing an artificial Atomos. Or I could if I had the relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Satrap's family archives?
Interesting.
Your Excellency?
He's thinking real hard.
Oh, yes. That can be arranged. I will speak to my officials upon our return.
As a reminder, his sister is trapped in the void. Or, well, not the,
We will see you back in the
not
city.
Varshan, the version we see here, but Vitsva, who is the mind behind Varshan. And a dragon. Sister is trapped on the other side of the gate. Oh shoot, I forgot to check. I guess the casting one is what I technically need. Ooh, a lot of cutscenes today. Once Nidahana succeeds in replicating the Mach Atomos, this door into the 13th will be ours to open. Will you be crossing the threshold with us? Realize this is more my endeavor than yours. To be honest, I have no interest in visiting the void myself. Maybe discuss this later. There's something I must do first. Fair enough. Why does everyone insist on being so secretive? I at least had good reason for not wanting to explain my Nixie ritual. Anyway, shall we proceed with our other preparations then? As we saw, the warding scale can be effective at protecting the bearer from other sources of etheric corruption. Nevertheless, the talisman's durability will need to be improved if it is to withstand the void's influence for a prolonged length of time. And I think that is a problem we can address without involving the brilliant but busy alchemists who created it. Who do we know who excels at this kind of structural augmentation? Garland Ironworks. An excellent suggestion. As I recall, Sid himself is no stranger to the void and its volatile energies. With his experienced hand at the helm, I have every confidence that we Ironworks can strengthen the warding scale. Come, let us visit this operation in Ralger's Reach and commission their best and brightest. Oh, okay, they just teleported us straight there. Fair enough. We have a commission for you and your president, actually. Mimic he's available. Master Sid? Certainly, if he's... I'll see if he's here. Has a moment free. Pleasure as always. I hear you have a job for us. Yes, it's a rather pressing one, in fact. heading into the void to find a lost dragon. That sounds almost pedestrian compared to your last adventure. Honestly, I don't know if you could say anything that would surprise me after me getting in that bloody mess. Alright, let's take a look at this talisman of yours. You said there were signs of degradation? Okay, there you go. Not what it's meant for, so it's not surprising. It seems some manner of corrosion has set in around a scratch on its surface, such as the void's corruption seeped into Nero through his wounds. In which case, the best bet yet may be to simply prevent the scale from being damaged in the first place. How might we achieve that? We have a coating agent for strengthening trinkets and the like, but be wary of applying any compound that might upset the scale's delicate alchemical balance. It's far safer to dress it in armor. We'll construct a protective casting, one utilizing metal alloys with high ethereal conductivity, so as not to impede the talisman's primary function. A suit of armor, you say? Nero has compiled data on the 13th, so I'll have him pitch in with the design just to be sure. If only it weren't such an ordeal to convince him to follow our safety protocols. I swear, I've never heard of such a reckless employee. In any case, we may need some time to entangle the particulars. Understandable. We know how busy your schedule is. The final result will doubtless be worth the wait. The hardest part will be ducking Jesse and her constant barrage of demands while we sneak about doing the fun stuff. We'll see what we can do. Fair enough. Are we gonna get to see Jesse again? No? Okay. I think we can leave the rest to in Sid's capable hands. Let's return to the great work and see how Honda is getting on with the Mach Atomos. Weird that I'm getting some frame drops. It's not a ton, but still, I don't like it. May end up having to cut today's stream short to try and fix that. Oh, and maybe take a nap. I had to wake up extra early this morning for a doctor's visit, and yeah, it's definitely hitting me.
Hey, Stola. The adjustments are going well, I hope?
Well enough.
'Tis a lengthy process, but the end is in sight, yes.
That's wonderful news. I myself had some good fortune searching through the Satrap's private records.
Oh, really?
What I found was a transaction log dated around the same period as when Alzadal's legacy was built. It included a purchase list of highly exclusive alchemical components. And I knew I'd discovered the key to making the artificial atomos.
Neat.
I then visited the High Crucible to commission the materials. After I'd explained my requirements, I was beset by volunteers insisting I allow them to help with the entire project.
That sounds about right.
The usual reaction to someone forcing open a void gate is to run for the hills. Harnish academics certainly are a different breed.
Well, there's a new thing happening. We have to be
The
involved.
alchemists of old were cut from a similar cloth. The unknown held no fear for them. Indeed, they were ever eager to seek new knowledge, regardless of the danger.
And were you not also fearless? Heedless even, in your determination?
One might say that, yes.
My sire entered his dormancy before I was hatched. And so it was Ashdaya who kept my eggs safe and warm. It created a bond between us. Even long after I learned to fend for myself, I rarely strayed from her side.
There.
She was my guardian, my sister, my dear companion. And not a single day passes that I do not mourn her absence. No matter how deep the darkness, I would not surrender my search. I promised myself the time would come when we would once more take to the skies together. But I am satrap now.
The Radiant Host is here to serve, Your Excellency.
Nabdeen, what is this about?
Sir Estinian told us of your predicament. For centuries you have protected Rads at Han, never showing your true self, hiding behind a curtain and living only in service to the people. Your dedication meant more to us than your deceit, and so did we accept you as our rightful ruler. After all that you have sacrificed for this nation, did you imagine we would begrudge you your heart's desire? We survived the final days. We are a strong and proud people. We, the Radiant Host, will keep Thavnair safe in your absence.
I am grateful for your loyalty and for your encouragement. And yet...
Now you listen to me, Varshan!
Oh.
You are wearing that face, after all.
Man just told off a dragon.
As I have told you before, you are a little brother to us all. And if you are family, then so too is your sister. We are there for you if you need us. But do not ask us to sit by and watch while you abandon a sibling you have ached to rescue for millennia.
We will succeed in opening the way. It is only a matter of time. All you need do is prepare to step through to the other side.
Good to see support.
Your Excellency, I wanted to thank you for building the orphanage. It means so much that my sister and I will have a place to be together, safe and happy. And I hope that you and your sister can be together again too.
Aww. All very good babies. To protect them well, you must take heart.
Take heart and protect them well. Such were the words I once said to you.
Oh, hello?
I hate to interrupt your stream, my
Failing to
little
live
flower,
up to them.
Oh, you're
but
fine.
there's a customer issue out front.
Small issue, big issue, like are we talking price issue or like
Just
what?
the former.
Okay. Give me a few minutes, I'll be right with you, okay? Alright. So yeah, we're gonna finish this cutscene and then I'm seeing it's still a couple more dropped frames, so we're gonna go ahead and end early for today.
If
Not
my
even
heart
send
is
y'all to another
torn,
commercial break.
I
It's
am
like,
fit to protect
I'm
neither
running into this kind of
Ashdaya
issue,
nor Razatan.
you know, I don't wanna sit through something you don't need to see if I'm just gonna get cut off again. You know what I mean?
My people, I have come to a decision. Vashan will depart Thavnair for a time. My dragon self will remain in the palace, but only to conduct the satrap's most essential duties. While I am focused on controlling this vessel, there may be matters that escape my attention.
Well, that's convenient, though.
I rely on you, my trusted friends, to watch over one another until I return.
Take care, and fair fortune, little brother. Many tears would be shed should you come to harm.
I would not dare make you cry.
Okay, so we're going to hold it there for today. I'm going to head over to the Just Chatting screen, and we will see who I can send you off to. Alright, let's go over there. Alright, well, we got about 2 hours in, so that's not bad. Thank you very much for stopping by, Weary Travelers. I hope you've enjoyed today's Final Fantasy XIV stream. I'll be back tomorrow on Saturday, July 28th for some martial arts drama with Wandering Sword. Until then, for more information about future streams, keep an eye on our Blue Sky at Come and Go Tavern for announcements and daily check-ins from the Come and Go. I have been your hostess, Sheela Ornthalis, and if you need to prop your feet up for a little while longer, we've got some more entertainment coming up soon via a raid because we've always got friends online. So why not go build some community, right? Let's see. Ooh, TPR's got a special event going on. So let's go bother them, shall we? Alrighty. I will see you all over there, okay? So, ta-ta for now. Right? Bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. Mwah. Bye. Bye-bye-bye.